What's up, you guys? Matt Jablonski here with the Point of Change. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. Oh, I got all kinds of people popping up here. What's up, you guys? Thank you for stopping by. Catherine, Gavin, good evening. Dana Moore, thank you for being here. Michael McNeil, my brother from Canada, good to see you. Sober Links, you're just following me around. Hey, brother, good to see you, man. Mitch and Teresa are here. Awesome to see you guys tonight. Angie, thank you for being here. Becky Rossman, good to see you. Tracy, thank you for joining me. And Caitlin Patricia Tanner, thank you for joining me, my love. Good to see you tonight. Brian O'Brien, how you doing? Codeine Spotted Horse, how are you? Good to see you tonight. Trigger warning on her name. Eric and Ashley, thank you guys for being here. Karen, guys, give me some likes, give me some loves. Give me a share out in any addiction groups you may be a part of or onto your own page if you wish. Tonight, we got an awesome program for you guys. I am going to be joined tonight by the one, the only, KC Makes Music as we continue the Music of Recovery Month. I'm excited to have this guy on tonight. He's been a friend of mine for quite a while. I had him come on here a long time ago. Actually, I first found KC Makes Music through the song that we're going to listen to tonight, which is Sober by KC Makes Music and Jordan Meyer. I heard the song, loved it. I wanted to use it for my introduction on my speaking engagements, so I reached out to them and they were like, yeah, dude, that'd be great. Go ahead. So I've been using it ever since. And I'm a huge supporter of everything these guys are doing. So he recently built his own studio. We're going to get a tour of that tonight. We're going to hear about his addiction, his recovery, how he got into music, and what he's up to nowadays with everything he's got going on. Ted Egan, how you doing tonight? Kevin Potasek stopping by. Right on. Thanks, brother. Josh and Lori are here. Josh is here. Is Lori with you, Josh? Get Lori over here. What's she doing? Codeine says, everybody says that. I'm sorry, guys. No problem. Spotted Horse. I love that last name. That's awesome. Is that a real last name? That's my question. Tonight's guest uses a false last name. His last name isn't actually Makes Music. It's kind of upsetting, right? I'm kind of upset by it. Why you gotta mislead us like that, bro? Mr. Makes Music, if that is your real name. Christy, and the time has come. Another night of recovery. I love this. It's my new AA meeting, if you will. Thank you for being here, Christy. Codeine says, I love KC. That song is fire. I love his studio. Same here. I love that studio. Isn't it awesome? All right, guys, so I'm going to kick us off tonight by playing the song Sober by KC Makes Music and Jordan Meyer. Before I get to that, I want to remind you guys that the Patreon page is launched, patreon.com/thepointerchange. You can go over and get signed up to be a supporter of The Pointer Change. Pick the membership that works for you. But right now, if you sign up at the $25 level, you get your name and your recovery date added to my banner as a founding member of Patreon. So check it out, see if it works for you, and go ahead and become a supporter. You get exclusive benefits that you won't see anywhere else. Thank you guys for stopping by. Let's go ahead and share my screen here. There we are. And we'll play Sober by KC Makes Music and Jordan Meyer.
When you're gone and your life is over, what will they say? What will they say? When you're gone, 'cause you won't get sober, what will they say? What will they say? I don't wanna live life like this no more. I don't. Every time that I say I'll get clean, but I know I won't. I've been battling all this time, it's killing me. And I'm trying to get sober, but it's hard for me.
Let me speak on addiction from the voice of an addict, from someone who's battled to get where they're at on a chance knowing some never have it. Let me speak for the victims, for the families, the lives that are shattered, for the ones that you say had a choice that they made in their life, so their lives never mattered. This one's for Micah, Michelle, then it's Adam. Ryan almost dying in my car in Lantana as I'm driving. I'm trying to revive him. I'm watching his lights dim. You think that it's mind over matter? It doesn't matter. Disease or a choice, and you tease and exploit, so you squeezing your points. And the person in needs at that teetering point going deeper when all they really need is a voice. You can do this.
When you're gone and your life is over, what will they say? What will they say? When you're gone, cause you won't get sober, what will they say? What will they say? I don't wanna live life like this no more. I don't. Every time that I say I'll get clean, but I know I won't. I've been battling all this time, it's killing me. And I'm trying to get sober, but it's hard for me.
I know what it's like to be ran by that instinct inside you that sticks to the lie. I know what it's like to relive all the things that you did till you wished you would die. I know what it's like when you're waking up anxious and sick, and the logical thing is a fix, so you push all the things that you know you should do to the side, cause you just want that high. But I also know what it feels like when you wake up excited for life, when you make that decision within you to live, so you give all that sinew and fight for your life. There's time if there's breath in your lungs. It doesn't matter the depth of your runs. No more living on borrowing funds. No more thinking tomorrow I'm done, cause sometimes tomorrow don't come.
When you're gone and your life is over, what will they say? What will they say? When you're gone, cause you won't get sober, what will they say? What will they say? There are times I tell myself I'm not the only one. I know I'm not alone, and I try to be brave when everything inside you feels like giving up the fight. Oh no, you're not alone, so just try to be brave. When you're gone and your life is over, what will they say? What will they say? When you're gone, cause you won't get sober, what will they say? What will they say? I don't wanna live life like this no more, I don't. Every time that I say I'll get clean, and I know I won't. I don't wanna live life like this no more, I don't. Every time that I say I'll get clean, and I know I won't. I don't wanna live life like this no more, I don't. Every time that I say I'll get clean, but I know I won't.
But you can.
There we have it, guys. Sober by KC Makes Music and Jordan Meyer. So if you guys haven't hit that share button yet, go ahead and hit that share button 1, 2, 3 times. Send this video out onto your own page or into any addiction groups you may be a part of, and throw up every heart in the world as I bring on my guest for this evening, KC Makes Music. There he is.
Hey, buddy.
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing awesome, man. Doing awesome. Everything's been going good here. It looks like everything's been going awesome for you too, dude.
Yeah, it's been a busy quarantine season.
Definitely. You kept yourself busy through all of that, and that's awesome, man.
Oh yeah, got to do something to occupy your time and your mind.
Yeah, for sure. So that's good that you found something to, it's good that you found music a long time ago and you had something you could put your effort into during this time,
Oh yeah. Grateful for that, dude. Grateful for music and all the people I met, through this, making the music, because Casey makes the music, dude. So I just want to point out really quick. I popped into your live the other night. It was after you had finished it, but I had watched you go and stalk out the Casey Makes Music Facebook page, and so I'm sitting in the studio with B Rain, and we're kind of like just cruising through it, like watching what you're doing. You skip ahead a couple minutes, right?
And we get to the point where you start scrolling on my page and you realize the videos aren't working on my Facebook page, right? And like literally you said the greatest one-liner of all time, because all the guys always break my balls because I don't post enough, right? Like I'm not constantly posting content and and like motivational stuff. Like I should do more, but it's just like you said it perfectly in a nutshell. You're like, Casey doesn't make posts. Casey makes music. And like, dude, the way you said it, I literally sat right here and cracked up for like 5 minutes straight, just replaying that. Dude, I screen recorded it and posted it on my Instagram story. Like, I loved it. It was amazing. But it's true. Like, I'm not much for words, dude, and unless it's lyrics and and music, and that's what I found is like my greatest outlet. Like I don't do a ton of engagements like this and lives like this, dude. I'll always go live with you because you're my dude. Like I love you, and you've been day one, like showing support, and you go out and you show sober in the community, and I think that's such a huge, and what your role is, like you have such a vital role, and you're reaching people, and you're doing that, and you're doing it the right way, and like people like you are so much better at the advocacy work than someone like me. Like I like making music, and it's not a secret that I'm in recovery, and I don't make it that way, and I try to make myself very accessible. But really the music is where my message sits best anyways, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, making music is obviously your calling there, man. That's for sure. Unless I'm trying to get you to come on my page, then you turn into Casey Makes Excuses on me.
Our power was out last week, dude. So Connecticut got hit a little bit, and we lost
I heard that.
Out of state got hit with that, the hurricane, and it was a whole thing. Like a lot of the state was out for almost a week, like a good amount. So,
oh, wow.
But we're back on, rocking and rolling, and no excuses here. We're just rocking.
I'm glad to get you on, man. Break you out of your shell a little bit and make you talk a little bit once in a while,
Of course.
Yeah, for sure. Did you guys happen to catch my Casey Makes Music puppet that I have here?
Are you serious?
Yeah, you want to see it? I got to kick you off the screen to see it, though.
Yeah. Oh my God, I saw that. That was amazing. Yeah, dude.
All right, I'll kick you off. We'll do the Casey Makes Music. There's my Casey Makes Music puppet. I got to get my arm right up. What's up, you guys? Casey Makes Music here, y'all. So glad to be on the Point of Change, hanging out with my boy, Matty Jablonski. No, this is the coolest.
Bro, me and B-Rain just stared at each other, dude. Like, we didn't know what to think, and then we just both just bust out, like, laughing in tears, like, rolling. Like, it was amazing, dude. When you did that the other day, it caught me off guard so bad, bro.
Dude, that all started, I was supposed to have Krista Turner, the sober mobster, come on here, and she fell asleep, and she was sleeping when it was time to go live. And I'm sitting, and I'm still going live. Like, it's 9 o'clock, time to go live. So I went live, and I was like, well, I don't know. I got some questions here. I need answers. We're going to her Facebook page. And I just started stalking her Facebook page and looking for my answers. And ever since, it's been a thing that people love to tune into, watching me Facebook stalk people. So
that's awesome.
So let's get on to what we're talking about here, bro. So let's take her way back to the long ago, before KC was making music. What's your real name is the first step to this?
Kevin Conklin. Yes.
Kevin Conklin.
Kevin Conklin. Yeah, nice Irish. Yeah.
I always figured it was Casey.
Yeah, no. So they started. My dad's name is Kevin as well. So my folks were like, Kevin. Oh, big or little, So when I was just, I guess, an infant or a toddler, they just started calling me Casey for short, and it stuck. So they
right on.
That's it. It's always been Casey.
So back when Kevin was just a young man, what was growing up in your world like?
Well, growing up in my world, let's see. I right now I currently live in Wallingford, Connecticut. My studio is right here in Meriden, Connecticut, which it happens to be the city that I was born in. A lot of my dad's family is from right here in Meriden, and my folks split up when I was about I don't know, 3 or 4 years old. I was, too young to remember age,
Same here. Same
Yeah.
here.
So I didn't really, I didn't really catch any of that, like my older siblings. I'm sure they felt some type of way because that's like the age they were, 5, 6, 7. I have two older sisters, by the way. One of them lives in California and the other one's here in Connecticut. But I moved out to California with my mom and my sisters when I was about 4 or 5 years old, and I grew up out there. I went to school out there. I learned how to party out there. I went over the line out there and crossed that threshold into I probably have a problem, and just in my teenage years out there. But yeah, I mean, how far back you want to go? How long?
That was perfect right there, man. That was exactly where I was aiming for. So the drug use pretty much started in like high school area then, huh?
Yeah, drug use started in high school, man. Like it's funny because I was always like afraid to like get in trouble. You know what I mean? Like I was the kid that was I would let my buddies do it, and like I didn't want them to know I was afraid to do it. So like when I was always a sucker for peer pressure. Like my number one thing growing up was emulating the cooler kids, like the kids that I look up to, and like whatever they're doing, I want to be able to do and like keep up with them. And like, but they kind of knew, like when I was younger than high school, they kind of knew that like I wasn't down for like the serious stuff. So like when they went and like did their dirt, like when they were sixth graders like smoking weed, and my friends were, they would like ditch me and like hop the wall, and they're like, we know Casey wouldn't approve of that, Or like I remember my buddy got busted. They were building like a shopping center right around the corner from my house, or apartments that we lived in rather. And he jumped, and like they left the keys and the heavy equipment, machinery, and like he's like, yeah.
Oh,
I see him the next day. He's like, yeah, I got arrested. We're in sixth grade. He's like, I got arrested yesterday. I'm like, what the hell, RJ? He's like, the keys were in the thing, and I just started driving it, and they were all shoplifting, and like, but they kind of left me out of that stuff, and it was just like younger years. It was just like skateboarding, and then rollerblading, and then skateboarding, and then whatever else was cool, back in my day,
yeah. I was always the nice kid too. I was always the kid that, like, if your parents found out Matt Jablonski was there, they were like, "Oh, then you can go. He's a nice boy. He's such a good kid."
Oh,
like,
he's what a good boy.
What a good boy. I mean, and for the most part, I was until I think my 20s is when I had my like. That's
Good.
when I started going down the drain.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure. So
Yeah.
how long were you using for then?
Dude, when I hit it, it was off to the races, right? So like it was California. Before we go, like how long, I would say like how long, a solid, 12-year stretch of heavy drugs, but it progressed pretty quickly. Like, I was really into sports. I played baseball my whole life, and then I got into high school, and I got into wrestling in high school, and I was, really good at wrestling. I was going to camps, and, I went to the University of Iowa for training camp between my sophomore and junior year. And, that's when kind of the partying and the drinking started on the weekends around then. And then into my junior year, it was like it had trickled over onto the weekdays. And I was messing with some nose candy here and there, and it just trickled out to ditching every school almost like every day, and I was just leaving to smoke with my friends and skip classes and come back, and I had my mom's signature forged down pretty well, back in those days. But
Signing myself out.
Yeah, by the time junior year came around, I couldn't really keep up with it, and I remember I got kicked out my first time, kicked out of high school, and I went to alternative school. And then I tried coming back my senior year, and I got kicked out within like 2 or 3 months. And I did the whole alternative school thing, and I was supposed to go every day from 8 to 12. And I just didn't do that. And then I was supposed to go once a week, and I barely made it every other week. And I was supposed to bring home packets, and I wouldn't show up with the packets, and the teacher, luckily, what was her name? Adcock, Mrs. Leslie Adcock, right? That's the only reason I graduated.
Calling you out.
You out, you know. But she's the only reason I graduated high school, because she would make me sit there and she'd be like, "You're not leaving till you finish this packet," you know, and make me sit there for like an hour. And then I'm like, "All right, I'm out of here." You know, I got better things to do. And, you know, at that point,
Things to do.
better things to do. Exactly. At that point, I had already, you know, living in Southern California, you know, I'm definitely, I go off of, you know, what's prevalent in the environment when it comes to drug use. So I was heavily using meth at 17 years old. And you know, I was already in a lot of trouble with the court system. I had been arrested quite a few times at that point. My mom, it's like, you know, you're like, where's his mom through this whole thing? She, you know, she worked her ass off to put herself through nursing school. And, you know, she was providing for 3 kids as a single mother and, you know, working long ass days. So that just gave me a lot of free time. And, you know, house was like the chill spot that all my friends would come to, because, you know, nobody was there. And, you know, I was basically just running around, running amok by myself, getting in a lot of trouble. And I remember, you know, one court date in particular, she came in and she was begging them to lock me up, you know, because she didn't know what to do. And I was only 17 years old and she didn't know what to do with me, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, I remember by the time she had been saying when I graduated high school, she was going to move back to Connecticut. So, you know, by the time that came around, you know, and thanks Miss Adcock, you know, I got my diploma and, you know, finished with from the alternative school I was going to. And my mom's like, all right, I'm out. And I was like, I'm going to stay in California. Then I had another court date where I violated probation for the second time. And they're like, hey, you're 18 now. We're going to recommend, you know, we'll get a continuance, but, you know, they're recommending 8 months, you know, and I'm like, wait, 8 months, like where? They're like 8 months, you know, at the farm, which is like the jail in Santa Ana, California. And, you know, I just turned 18. I'm like, wait, what? You know, I'm going to jail? They're like, yeah, that's what it's looking like, bud, you know, and I'm like, all right.
Yeah, real world time, brother, real world time.
Well, then the public defender says to me, he says, you know, or, you know, since you just have a stupid amount of misdemeanors, you know, because they were just, my neighborhood was hot. They would get us for everything they could. I got minor in possession of alcohol, a couple of those. I got 2 minor in possessions of tobacco when I was 16, 17 years old. You know,
you're a bad criminal, bro.
I was. Well, we would just scatter because the cops would be like, all right, we're getting at least a few of them. And then we would hang out in my neighborhood in like big groups. And when the cops pulled up, we would just scatter. And sometimes they would, you know, catch a couple of us. Sometimes we'd all get away, you know. But
I remember them days.
Yeah, I ended up, where was I? So the public defender was like, you know, you don't have any serious cases. My most serious case was why I got put on probation. It was like obstruction of justice. And, you know, I got a DUI that, whatever, right? And no felonies. So he said, you could go to Connecticut, you know, your mom already moved. You go to Connecticut and you don't get in trouble. And this all goes away by the time you're 21, you know? And I was like, really? You know, wow, Mr. Take the easy way out. I'll have a ticket to Connecticut, please, you know? And that was it. Like I dipped from California. I was out of there. You know, I was kind of already couch surfing at that point. But, you know, I moved out to Connecticut and, you know, basically.
How old were you at this time?
I was 18 when I moved back to Connecticut.
Oh, okay. So this is all still while you're 18. Man.
Yeah.
Rough year.
Dude, I hit it hard and I hit it fast, man. So, hold on. The AC just kicked on. Let me turn that off.
All right, on. I'll check in with some comments here. We got, let's see, Belinda King says, oh gosh, that reminds me of one school year. I missed 173 days of 189 days in Ohio. Damn, we are just, drug addicts are the most irresponsible people, I tell you. Who'd have thought? Who'd have thought, right? Dana says, I hate it when a car just screams, drive me. Yeah, that sucks, doesn't it? Dang cars. It's all the car's fault, really. It was the car. What's playing right now? Did you do this, Casey? I got music playing in my ear.
No, I got nothing playing here.
What is happening right now? Does anybody else hear this loud music that I'm hearing in my ear? It's Ozzy. I got Ozzy Osbourne playing in my ear right now. Why is Ozzy Osbourne playing in my ear?
Not coming from here, but
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. I got it. I don't know why Ozzy Osbourne just started playing out of nowhere, dude. YouTube's been sitting there the whole time. All of a sudden, it's like, here's Ozzy Osbourne blaring in your headpiece. Here you go, bud.
every player I have, I'm like, I don't think there's any music going.
Well, your KC makes music. I figured when something started making music, it was probably you.
I get the finger pointed at me immediately based upon my name. That's not fair.
Singling you out, bro. You definitely made this music. Oh, Brandy Conklin. She's wondering if you guys are related. She says, I never had issues until after I was 30. Yeah, we all just kind of fall into stuff at our own times, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
For sure. So when did you get into music and all this? Did you get into music before, like during your addiction, or was that in recovery?
Dude, I had the dopest mixtape out when I was 17 years old in California. So now, and when I say the dopest mixtape, I mean, you know, a few of my friends played it, and
yeah,
on like a gaming microphone, you know, on my computer, on my Windows, you know, my Sony Vaio, Windows XP, whatever, you know, back in whatever year, in the early 2000s, back in the day. So like that was my only experience with music, right? Is because like I could like I had some cool bars and like stuff, you know, but I was always the one that like got, you know, drunk at a party and just started rapping and like was actually decent, you know. And then I would get too drunk and it would just stop making sense, and you know, people would be like, dude, you need to not do that, you know. And you know, that's kind of how it went, dude. It really didn't kick off until I got sober, and you know, I had you know, I was kind of, you know, discovering myself all over again, and started and just, you know, put pen to paper and started writing, and you know, really found solace in it, and I really started finding myself in the music, you know.
Right on. So what we were at before you had just moved out to Connecticut. Did you find recovery just with that move, or was it like after being out there?
Oh no, then it got worse.
No.
Then it got worse. I think that's like, you know, I think that's everyone's story. But then it got worse, you know.
But then it got worse, is right.
Worse. No, I did the whole. I was kind of normal partying a little bit, and then I found this group of people that were doing cooler stuff, and I thought they were cool, and you know, I was like, oh, you know, I used to do this kind of cool stuff too. You know, let me get back into it. Maybe I can regulate or control it, right? And then I remember I was probably like 19 years old when you know, perk 30s, you could get them as easily as going into a store and buying a candy bar. You know, everybody was doing them and selling them, and you know, I remember it was Percocet, some kind of Percocet. I was delivering pizzas, and you know, and you know, another driver was like, "Yo, here, try this." You know, it helps the days go by fast. And I was just popping Percocets, and next thing you know, it's like I'm getting sick when I don't have them. I was like, "Holy shit! I didn't even know this could happen." You know, and it excelled and escalated, and you know, and then came the lying, and you know, I was trying to sell them to maintain my habit, and you know, it just got worse and worse and worse, and you know, I was finally got to a point where I was broke, and you know, and I made the switch to harder stuff that was cheaper, you know, and I started doing heroin, which you know, at that point, like my family kind of knew something was up, and you know, I wasn't myself, and I had every excuse in the book why I didn't, you know, why I wasn't able to pay my bills, and you know, woe is me, life is the
Victim mentality, man.
yeah, every single bad thing that could possibly happen has happened to me, and I have the worst luck, you know. No, dude, you're doing heroin, you know. That was just, you know, and I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to take a look at myself, and you know, I had basically closed myself off to everyone important in my life, and I was living in a 1-bedroom apartment in Middletown, Connecticut, and my power was already shut off, and it was I remember the power was off, and I kept living there, and I made it to the middle of the winter. Power's off. I'm running an extension cord to my neighbor's house to get a space heater going, in my little unit, you know, water was freezing cold, you know, whatever. I wasn't really
Been there.
way. It was just a little dirty little den, you know, and I also had the TV powered with a DVD player and I think one lamp. So I had a space heater, a lamp, a TV, a DVD player, and then the same when because I was like most of the time I was just dope sick. So like the same DVD all over again. You know what I mean? On repeat. I was too lazy to get up and you know,
Ah.
that's like the first time it hit me. I didn't mention I went to rehab when I was 16 years old, you know. But
Oh, did you?
yeah, I did, and it didn't take. so, so,
You don't say.
so, I was probably 25-ish at this point, and I was like, damn, you know, something's got to be better than this. I got to change something, right? Like that was my mentality. Like I got to change something. Life's got to be better than this, you know. So off I go, you know, and I went into treatment, and then it was just when I get out, I'm gonna drink. I'll be able to drink. That'll be fine, you know. And I got out and I drank, and it was fine until you know, a day later,
Till
and
it wasn't.
till it wasn't, you know. And there's been times where I tried to just drink, and I tried my hardest, and guess what? I still drink alcoholically. It's crazy, right? So no matter what it was, you know, it either progressed to other drugs or I would just use it out of control, you know, with that addict alcoholic mentality, you know. And I always wanted to do it on my terms. It would always be, you know, I'm just gonna drink, or hey, you know, my cool friends still smoke weed. Why can't I just do that? You know, none of it ever really worked out for me. You know, I always ended up in the same predicament that I was in and getting into trouble, and you know, and I remember, you know, I kind of bounced around a little bit, moved up to upstate New York for a while, you know, found crack. That shit was crazy. And,
Just the instant laughter that comes out when we talk about, you know, and I just want to point out how it's
not,
most of the time I laugh because it's so ironic that we did that kind of crap, dude. Like the person that we are right today, I'm sitting here a motivational speaker. You're a well-known musician, and the fact that, and then I found crack, you know.
it doesn't fit, you know. And that, I mean, that's all of us though, you know, what we've done doesn't define us. It's the actions that we take right now and the things we do on a daily basis, you know. But you know, I kind of ran around, and then I ended up, you know, hitting another sort of bottom. I went into treatment for 3 weeks, and I ended up shipping off. My mom was like, hey, there's a sober house down in South Florida that a guy runs from Connecticut. And I went down there, and I remember, you know, I put together 7 months, and I was doing, you know, some of the stuff that I needed to do, you know, until I eased up a little bit, and I started getting things back, and I had the convertible, and I had my own apartment with a buddy of mine, and you know, I moved out of the sober house, and I had a job, and you know, I forgot that I was you know, different from other people, you know. And the thoughts crept into my head after like 7 months. I had this thought that like, hey, you should get high right now. And I was like, whoa, that was weird. Where'd that come from? You know? And then and I was like, let me just tuck that away, you know. But
Let me not talk about that ever again.
a week later it comes back, but it's twice as strong, you know. And it's like, oh man, you know. And I'm with a girl at the time, and you know, and that's when I was like, you know what, I bet she'd be on the same page, you know. And then the voices start coming, and you start talking, and you know, next thing you know, you're both out, and we ran around. I was, you know, running around in Orlando for a while with her, and things got really, really, really bad. It was the worst run of my life. It was 9 months. I don't want to go into too many details, but it was a disastrous, ugly, ugly, ugly mess, you know. And I was down to about 115 or 120 pounds. Normally I'm like at 165, 170. And you know, I remember something happened, man, and I was like, yeah, I didn't even plan on you know, cleaning up for good. I was sick of feeling how I was feeling, so I wanted to go to detox, and I ended up calling a friend. His name is Nate Kelmer, and he does a lot of stuff. I'm not sure who he's with, but he lives out in Ohio. An amazing dude. And I called him up, and I had known him for a few years, and he ended up getting me into a detox. And me and the girl I was with, he found us a detox, and then they shipped us straight from the detox to a treatment center. And I remember I was not done, because from the detox to the treatment center, they transport you in a van. And I remember they drove past the city that all like my car was at, and we were living in a flop house at the time, and like it was like the sketchy South Florida shuffle where like they don't care if you're doing drugs as long as you go to their IOPs, and like there's like a whole underworld of South Florida that I now am aware of, and like it's just an ugly. I get very very skeptical of people, you know, that are in the field, you know, and how reputable they are, you know, because like I've seen like the dark underbelly of you know, recovery and marketing, and you know, I've kind of I've prided myself on being able to, you know, pinpoint when somebody's genuine and somebody's disingenuine, and there's definitely a lot of damage that somebody can do, you know, working in the treatment industry if they're not doing it properly, you know. But you know, seeing some of that, you know, that dark, you know, underside sketchiness, you know, firsthand, and living in these houses and, you know, owned by people that just don't give a shit, you know, whether you live or die. I was in a house that was owned by a couple guys, and they owned 4 or 5 houses within like Boynton Beach area. And I remember they had like 2 overdose deaths, you know, all the kids in the houses, we all had the same dealer, you know, and people were dropping like flies, you know, and it was like they would just, you know, call 911. Maybe they brought him back, maybe they didn't. People were overdosing left and right, and it's a shit show, you know. It can be. And then there is great establishments in South Florida, don't get me wrong, but you know, I know the good ones and I've seen the bad ones, you know, and that was definitely a bad one. So we're driving by that house, and like I get that urge, and I'm like, I know I can get away with whatever I want right there. And I'm like screaming at the driver that's driving us to treatment from detox. I had done my 5-day detox, and I'm with this girl, and I'm like, pull the van over. Like I'm threatening him. I'm screaming at him. And the guy's like, nope, sorry. You know, that guy probably saved my life, you know? But he drove me right to this treatment center in Fort Lauderdale. And I remember after like 3 or 4 days, you know, I remember vividly having this kind of, you know, I would say spiritual experience, or, you know, mind opening experience, where it was just like, holy shit, you know, I see these dudes that have got some time under their belt, you know, they had brought us out to these recovery meetings and things, and they've had these speakers come in, and I saw these dudes that were like, they seemed like they had their shit together, and they were young and cool, and, you know, I could look up to them, and it was like, wait, why can't I be like this, you know? And then like, so I went up to the girl that I was with for the last, you know, 9 months or a year. And I was like, hey, I don't think we should be together. And she's like, hey, I think we should leave. And I was like, no, I think I'm gonna, you know, and she ended up leaving, and, you know, and she actually came to one of my shows in Connecticut, and she's doing good, you know, so good for
Right
her.
on. That's awesome.
But you know, she ended up taking off, and, you know, the relationship was not what I needed in my life at that point in time. And I remember, you know, my whole story, my whole life, it's been, you know, I need to change something, you know. And I think it was at that moment where it kind of occurred to me 4 days into treatment, you know, that I need to change everything, you know, no more changing this and that and nitpicking, you know. I need to literally rebrand, you know what I mean? In the business term, you know, rebrand my entire self. But you know, that's when rubber started meeting the road, you know. And I just started taking actions every day, you know, and doing the work and putting one foot in front of the other, and kind of, you know, and just trying to grow and trying to be a better person each day than I was the day before, you know. And
that's awesome, man. It was like a light switch flip, isn't it? Like once you finally,
you know, I've been very blessed to not have the obsession to use or drink, you know, hasn't come back, you know, and it's been just over 4 years now. I hit on June 19th, I hit 4 years. And
right on, brother. Congratulations on that.
Thank you. And it's just, you know, it's just keeping busy and trying to be helpful, and you know, and for me, a huge outlet, man, is the music, you know. that's for everyone, you know. I try to say, like, if it's not music, I don't care what your stick is, you know, but like, you know, find something that you're passionate about and that's productive, you know. If it's productive and you're passionate about it and you can continually grow, then that gives you something to occupy your time, occupy your mind, put your energy forth, you know, be helpful to others at the same time, you know. And it's like, it doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's a constructive pastime, you know?
Hell yeah, brother. That's awesome. That's great little words of wisdom there, man. So now you got into music. Now you come into recovery. You're getting into music. What was like your first album?
I only have one album out. So I
Oh,
dropped one album and it's we're due for another one. But besides the album, I've dropped a few singles, but you know, it really it was kind of like you know, in the last 4 years, it went from I recorded raps in a bedroom from a house I rented when I moved back to Connecticut. I rented a house from my family, and I had blankets on the walls in like my grandmother's old spare bedroom, and like I was rapping in that bedroom and posting it on Facebook. And I remember I got like 1,000 views, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is cool. Like, you know, I had a bunch of comments that were like, hey, you're pretty good at this. You know, I didn't know you could rap. And I'm like, neither did I. This is fucking great, you know? So, um, I'd say, you know, the next thing was, you know, find a studio. And, you know, I kind of shopped around a little bit. I found Jordan Meyer. I linked up with him. I started making music. You know, I bought a big block of time with Jordan, and I really learned more about the recording process. And then, you know, I bounced around to a couple other studios, and then I found my way back to Jordan after, you know, I had written a little more, had some more experience in the recording. And we got together, and he was like, hey, listen, you know, you're like-minded, you know, I was wondering if you wanted to partner up in the studio. And I was like, you know what, I think so, you know. And I had only dropped a single at that point, and at that studio is where I spent, you know, finishing my first album. And I dropped that in November 2018, and it charted on the iTunes hip hop charts. It charted 72. It's the second day in on the iTunes hip hop. I was blown away, and I was like, holy crap. Like, I didn't realize that I was onto something, you know, like that, you know, that there's that many people listening, and that are kind of digging, you know, what I have to say, you know. And
I know that feeling.
I made that song, you know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I made that song, sober, with Jordan, you know. He came to me with this composition that he had made with the keys, and he's like, dude, I think this could be a huge record. And we kind of sat down, you know, on and off for, you know, hours and hours and days, and we wrote this piece of music called Sober, you know. And you know, Jordan said it. He was like, dude, this is so much bigger than either of us, you know. And it really has, you know, it's really kind of forced me into that thing that I said I'm not built for, you know, this you know, talking about this kind of stuff. You know, I just like making music. But
Casey don't make posts.
Casey don't make posts. Casey makes music. But no, so but you know, the greatest thing is it has introduced me to so many people that are like-minded, and so many people that are driven like I am, and that are working towards goals and bettering themselves and doing the stuff. And like, I have a great support network and great friends. And, you know, we just went on tour with Chad, with Kalichi and Joe Nestor and B Rain and Rem One and DJ Rocky Styles and where Matty Ice and Brian Fisher and Josh, you know, and the guys. And like, it was just an unbelievable experience. We were going to go again in this month, but, you know, COVID hit. So, you know, we're looking out to January or February of next year. But dude, I met these guys, and it's just like, you know, just saw to the earth dudes, man. And I really vibe with these guys. And, you know, and I've just pushed myself like they push themselves, you know. And what I've seen Brian do, B Rain, what I've seen that dude do, you know, in the last year is just unbelievable, dude. The way he puts countless hours in, you know, booking venues, like putting press kits together, like, dude, all the legwork that I just completely blows my mind. Like, setting up an entire like national tour, you know what I mean? Like, how do you fathom something like that? He's like, you know, I can't by myself, but, you know, we put 5 of us together on a bus, dude, of course we can, you know. And that proved to be true. And I think the next round is going to be even better, man. I really do.
For sure. I love that. And you guys got your virtual concert coming up here soon. I got the flyer right here. live virtual concert
That's it.
featuring KC Makes Music, B Rain, Kalichi, Jordan Meyer, Rem One, and Joe Nestor. That's August 31st, 6 to 8. I'm sure this is going to be streamed on like your page and everybody's page, I'm sure.
Yeah, we're gonna have it. We're gonna be sharing it from our pages. It's actually gonna be hosted by the Meriden Healthy Youth Coalition, the city I was born in, right here where the studio is, and it's for National Overdose Awareness Day. And all the guys are coming up, and we're doing a show. We're rocking out my stage, and I just got all the live streaming gear, so we can hook up the good cameras, and we can run audio through the interface, so it's professional. Like it's gonna sound like a real live concert as opposed to live stream on my cell phone where I'm trying to sing a song to you. It doesn't quite hit the same,
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be awesome. It's the first thing I've ever done like that. And my crew, my producer / sound / video guy, he's like this 18-year-old whiz kid, seems very confident that he can get it done. Shout out you, Marco, Marco Cost. But I think we're going to get it done, and it's going to be awesome.
Hell yeah, brother. Tonight's interview is kind of a part one of a 3-parter, because next weekend I will have Joe Nestor here. The weekend after that I have B Rain here, and then you guys are going to have your concert on the 31st. So I'm making sure I pump the concert up as much as I can, bro. Don't worry.
Yeah, so if you go to anybody's page, if you go to Kalichi's page, B Rain's page, Jordan Meyer, Rem One, I said Nestor, right, or myself, you go under events and you'll see the event for the live streaming. You just hit going and it'll give you a reminder the day of. It's Monday the 31st. It's a few weeks away.
Right on, brother. I'm excited for it. So you want to give us a tour of your new studio that you've spent your quarantine time building?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Here, we'll start off with, I'll show you kind of. I'll show you my trash room first.
All right, take us to the garbage.
Here's the trash room. So this is half of my, there we go. This is half of my space. This is the unfinished half and the disaster zone where I put all of my refuse, all of the construction stuff. I got all my tools over here, all my boxes of equipment boxes over there. But this is what the studio looked like. I had 2 rooms that looked just like this. Can you hear me still?
Yeah, you're doing good, Rip.
Okay, all right. So I had 2 big rooms that looked just like this when I moved in, right? And so I did a lot of demo to begin with, and I only had the budget to really renovate one room the way I wanted to, but we'll start kind of in the entryway here. Can I turn my camera around, or is that not an option?
I think you can. I'm not sure if you can or not. If you touch your screen, you might get some options. I don't know.
Let's see. Cam. Oh. Where'd I go?
There you are.
That's not it. All right, whatever. All right,
Whatever.
So I have this entry room. By the way, Rem One, Frank Morgan, did the floors in here, and he did a spectacular job. But this is kind of, I don't know if you can see it, it's lined with rock beds. So we put rock beds kind of, and this is my blacklight room. I'm going to get a marker so artists can sign the wall back here. And I think that's going to be a really cool aesthetic. Possibly in the future, I want to cut like a vending machine door or a fridge door to kind of walk through in order to get into the big room. I think that would be awesome,
Hell yeah, bro.
But everything in here was like this weird, like teal color. I rented a sprayer from Home Depot. I sprayed 15 gallons of flat black between the walls in this room, and then the entire ceiling. I sprayed everything black. It was just like this gaudy kind of, I don't even know how to explain it. It was just the ugly tan, and I took all the old insulation off these ductworks up here, and I put all this new lighting in here, and took down all the old, T12 lighting, and my mom was in here painting, and my girlfriend was in here painting, and my dad and my stepmom painted, and everyone painted except me. I hate painting. Right here, I I set up a barber chair for my boy. He's a barber, and I wanted him to have like his own little spot. So, you know, if he wanted to cut hair, namely, you know, mine, but literally anybody else's hair, you know, he could always do that. Right here, I did like a kind of a photo and video backdrop. You know, got the lighting, the ring light. There's more lights back here. You can see them kind of along there. And then this area right here is kind of like just a chill lounge. So if artists are in there recording, or if they're, you know, if their friends are in there recording and they want to take a break, you know, or hang out while their friends are recording, they can hang out here, watch TV, do their thing. Just kind of like a chill area. And then right here is where we're doing the live stream from. It's you can't see them, but there's more speakers up top on top of the stage. But I built the stage and just got the PA system in here for you know, when quarantine's over. I think I'm gonna be rocking some live shows in here too, which will be fun, because I legitimately think we could probably squeeze over 100 people in this room and it would rock, you know.
That'd be freaking bomb, bro.
I think it would be perfect. Yeah. And then in here, go through this door and you can probably hear immediately the sound difference. This is this suite that we're entering, the production suite right here. And you know, here I'm trying to do this with like all right, so there's like my main desk setup. There's you and me on up on my screen there. And that's kind of my production desk right there. And I have sound panels on all the walls, and I built all those with, you know, insulation and wrapped them in fabric. And same with the drop ceiling. I built the grid and built all the tiles and soundproofed them. And that's the vocal booth. And we'll go in there because you'll even notice more of a contrast once I come in here. You could probably hear even more of a difference, right?
Oh yeah, that's clean.
This room is like floor to ceiling, you know, from the carpet down there, but every bit of it is acoustically treated to be as absorbent as possible. So there's as little amount of reverb, because when you're recording music, you want to get the truest vocals possible, right? So that means no like people, it's like a rumor, you know, where you record in the bathroom, you'll get great vocals. No, you're introducing a bunch of ambient sound when you record in rooms. You know, you want the truest sound possible. And that's the reason people treat recording studios. And same when you're mixing, I want to be able to hear the truest sound possible. I don't want to hear it bouncing off a bunch of walls and big spaces before it gets to my ears, and then the mix will come out weird, you know. So that's the reason for all the panels and the soundproofing and stuff like that. And you know, we've had it going for about a month now, and I just started getting artists in here little by little. We're working on the website. My buddy just came up and did the virtual tour. Shout out to my buddy Carlos and his wife Kate for making me this cool Casey Makes Music Brightside with my new Brightside Entertainment. That's the studio, Brightside Entertainment. They made it with the logo, and he gave it to me when he came up recently, and I was super surprised and happy. And it's an awesome shirt. Shout out them. Yeah.
Right.
But
on,
yeah,
bro.
so we're getting away, and now I'm just finally plugging away, making music again after however many months. And I'm working with this really talented young kid that's just unbelievable, and he's helping me make a new project that we just started working on. And I have quite a few songs that I'm going to have him reproduce and that I haven't released, and we're putting an entire project together, and I'm super excited about it. It's gonna be awesome.
Bro. Just making moves. KC makes moves. You see this?
KC makes moves. Yeah.
Got all kinds of comments coming in. We got B Rain in the house. We got Travis Gilbert in the house. We got Brian Fisher up in the house. We got all kinds of people in here.
Yeah, I think Eastern time. I just saw when is the online concert? It's August 31st. I believe it's 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern time that Monday.
I think so. Yep. 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern. Yep. There you are, guys. That's awesome. Oh, we got everybody in the world making puns on the whole KC Makes things.
Dude, so this kid, Marco, the other day, he was like, hey, dude, you should make your Cash App KC Makes Money. And I was like, oh, my God, bro. That's the most awesome thing I've ever heard. I was like, now I really want to do that. Yeah.
Right. That would be great. I think my favorite in the comments is Brian Fisher dropped Casey makes babies cry.
Yeah. You did that before, Brian.
Casey just making all kinds of stuff. The last time you were here, it was Casey makes popsicles.
Casey does. Yeah, I do. I make popsicles. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're back to making music, bro.
Yeah. We'll just keep it music.
For sure. Quit saying that Casey makes different things. We all know what Casey makes, guys.
Casey doesn't make posts.
Casey makes music, man. I'm glad you caught that. I'm glad you had a good time watching that too. I had a good time making that video.
Yeah.
Well, bro, I want to thank you for coming on. Thank you for giving us the tour and hanging out with us tonight and letting us know your story. That was awesome. We're almost up to an hour.
Now, listen, I don't know what the sound quality is like, but do you have time? I mean, I could play something if you want.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't see the comments. Can you guys hear me clearly? Like if I were, okay, so I'm going to play something and let me know if it's distorted or blown out or sounds funky. Cause then we'll just postpone it. But,
okay.
Let me see what I got here.
You're going to get an exclusive Casey makes music drop here. Ooh.
Casey makes magic in the studio with Frank Morgan's new songs. Yeah, dude. My gosh, dude. Rem 1 came in here and just blew it out of the park, man. His stuff is like his new music. Well, him and B Rain both, dude. They like, I want to play all their new music right now is what I want to do, but that's not my job. That Oh, but it's amazing. It's amazing. The stuff they're doing is just unbelievable. You know, you compare it to just the level of growth that they've had is just like, it's mind blowing. So good. Let's see if you can hear this. All right. Let's see.
All right.
I'll just play. Can you hear that?
Yeah, that sounds great.
Let me know if you can hear the lyrics. So this song is featuring Jay Cobain, Jacob Dietrich.
I get illusions that I'm really
Can you hear it?
When I've been lying in the corner of that bedroom by myself.
And it's low key. It's about detoxing in a room. All right.
Just losing in reality could melt. I get illusions that I'm really somewhere else when I've been lying in the corner of that bedroom by myself. And when I do this, I'm not usually in tune with any movement. I'm just losing in reality could melt. And this is war. Laying down for like a lifetime on that bedroom floor. I don't wanna hold this weight no more. Hold up, almost made it. I can't really say that I won't be back though. Really? That's the sound of my last hope. Dropping in to say I'm over it. How many chances I gave you to quit and you don't want nothing to do with it. Lay in your room, the same as the furniture you never learned. It's a cold day, but it's true. Feel like it's no escape in this room. So I just float away. My imagination, try to dull it out, I can't move. I get illusions that I'm really somewhere else when I've been lying in the corner of that bedroom by myself. And when I do this, I'm not usually in tune with any movement. I'm just losing it. Reality could melt. I get illusions that I'm really somewhere else when I've been lying in the corner of that bedroom by myself. And when I do this, I'm not usually in tune with any movement. I'm just losing it. Reality could melt. I'm caught in a bind between a rock and a hard place. I'm in a dark place in my mind. I hope that I make it home on time. I'ma still pray that I make it home alive. Hope I'm not late to my funeral. It's crazy with all these drugs to you. The life I live used to be beautiful. Chewing my nails and I'm biting my cuticles off. I'd rather a comfortable hell than an uncomfortable heaven. Smoking my 27s behind 7-Eleven. I'm manic depressive. Feel like I'm losing my leverage. I'm losing my will to live. I'm sitting still, ain't feeling shit. Still, I'm sick of everything. I get illusions that I'm really somewhere else when I've been lying in the corner of that bedroom by myself. And when I do this, I'm not usually in tune with any movement. I'm just losing it. Reality could melt. I
I get illusions that I'm really somewhere else when I've been lying in the corner of that bedroom by myself. And when I do this, I'm not usually in tune with any movement. I'm just losing it. Reality could melt. And when I do this, I'm not usually in tune with any movement. I'm just losing it. Reality could melt. That's called Illusion. That's one of the new ones. I have like 7 or 8 new songs that I'm like just itching to release, and it's only a matter of time before we get them out there.
You got a new studio now, man. We're expecting an album very soon.
Song a day for the next year. Yeah, I wish it was like that, man. You know, I have probably 5 times as many incomplete projects than I do complete projects. As far as songs, I'll start a song, I'll get a cool hook, get a verse down, and then it'll just sit there, and then I'll like, oh, that's shiny and new, let me work on this one now, you know. And it's like I bounce around. Sometimes I go back to stuff, but you know, I'm starting to build up a solid, you know, catalog of stuff that I'm willing to part with, and I'm working with somebody to just reproduce some of the stuff and bring the best sound possible, and I'll start, you know, gearing up to release a bunch of new stuff soon.
Right on, brother. Hell yeah, get in the studio and put this face on.
Oh God. That mixing music face, yeah.
Casey makes faces.
B-Rain and Rem 1 learned that face well this weekend, or
yeah,
last week actually. Yeah,
I relate to it now though, dude, because I made I took one of my videos and I chopped it down, I edited it down, and I was sitting here doing the same thing. Just
oh yeah. Literally.
Well, thank you, brother, for coming on here tonight, man. This was awesome hanging out. You definitely set the bar high for the rest of the month here on the Music of Recovery month.
Of course, dude. Hey, thanks for having me, bro. And like I said, you know, like you know, you're the man, dude. I love what you're doing, and keep doing it, bro. Honestly, you're making a difference, and that's important. And you're driven, and you're growing, and you're doing everything right.
Right on, brother. I appreciate that, especially from somebody who has experience in this recovery realm. I appreciate that a lot, man.
Not I wouldn't say experience, you know. I would you know, I just you know, try to take it easy, like, you know, like I should, and do what I know, and just grow as much as I can. You know, that's all we can do, right?
Right on, brother. One day at a time. That's all we got.
That's facts, man. That's facts.
All right, man. You have yourself a good night. I'm going to kick you off of here. Thanks for coming on.
Buddy, and good talking to you, man. And we'll see you all, you guys, later. Everyone that's live from the Point of Change. The Point of Change. And I'll do that for you for $100. Casey makes money. Send it. I'll talk to you later, brother.
Yeah, have a good night, bro. Oh, there you have it. Ladies and gentlemen, the Point of Change meets KC Makes Music. I love that guy. I love everything he's doing. He's just he's got such a bright, positive, like, soul about him. You know what I mean? He just brings an awesome energy to the table. And I'm so happy to have him on here tonight. This is, I believe, his 3rd time on the Point of Change. Tomorrow morning, the topic is enabling. Tomorrow morning's topic was chosen by the supporters over on Patreon. If you would like to become a supporter of The Point of Change, go over to patreon.com/thepointofchange and get signed up. Right now, if you sign up for $25 a month as a supporter, you get your name and your recovery date added to the banner on the wall behind me. As most people know, I am a full-time live streamer and motivational speaker. So the supporters literally keep the lights on around here at The Point of Change. So thank you guys so much for the support. I love you all so much. And I will see you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Until then, stay happy, stay healthy, and stay clean.